it's your boy, Boss Harris, aka the Crazy Uncle. Hey, guess what? It's your first time tuning in. Go ahead, hit the doggone subscribe button, hit the notification bell anytime I post some new content. Well, people, as you can see, the Crazy Uncle has a new location, right? And this is why I haven't, been on. Or one of the reasons why I haven't been on. But then again, when there's really nothing to talk about because you already, or because I have already talked about it already, so you have to ask yourself, okay, why, why come on my channel and talk about something that for the most part, I told y'all the same shit either years either, I either told y'all this much prior or even years prior. And then everybody else, for the most part, is just catching up, right? As you can see, I got my guy glasses on, right? Because sometimes, right? Don't need y'all looking in my lunch room. Because sometimes, right? I have to, well, I know it's bullshit, first and foremost. But sometimes the bullshit can actually really take on another form. I mean, although it's still bullshit now, but sometimes you have to and so with the topic of discussion, this operation all abroad, or all aboard, bullshit that I really gotta to be like, okay, well, this is bullshit. Okay. So now that I know that it's bullshit, I'm gonna take these motherfuckers off. Right? So in that case, just like I said, on the wonderful world of YouTube, seeing, because I already know that YouTube or so-called social media is gonna give me 1 or 10. Right? So I'm watching one of the TikTok folks. And so this whole thing about the Operation All Aboard comes up. So I'm listening to it, and then these motherfuckers on here, they talking about, well, they talking about, okay, well, they gonna give everybody a chance, all of the melanated people, or all the indigenous people, melanated, indigenous, whatever the fuck, however you want to put it, right? Motherfuckers, so I guess what the United States government is now saying, right? So, okay, you motherfuckers say y'all want out of here, fine, we're gonna give it to you, right? We're gonna give you some money, and just like say, pack your shit, go somewhere, right? And then, so, but my whole thing is this. I'm gonna call it, listen, it's bullshit on so many levels. Because for one, here it is, you got a bullshit war that's going on with Russia and the Ukraine. You got a bullshit war that's going on with so-called Israel and the Hamas, right? And on top of that, these motherfuckers talking about a government shutdown. Why? Because the United States government can't pay its bills. But you want to send all this goddamn money to the Ukraine, all this money to motherfucking Israel. Now, here you come with this bullshit. And just like I said, if for those y'all that didn't watch my video titled, "Is it Israel or is it real?" Go back, watch that video, right? But what I'm saying is this: if you look at all of the, if you put like this, if you look at all of the money issues, so-called money issues that this government claims that it has, and so now all of a sudden you finna give everybody $11 million, everybody, right? Because so basically what's gonna happen is that, again, let's just go back. Let's take a walk down memory lane, shall we? I mean, because all of us at one point has heard this, where that you can cash in your Social Security number. It's either your birth certificate or your Social Security number. Because these motherfuckers, they claim that, hey, once you were born, they didn't actually like really, and they still don't, they don't actually like really classify you as a human being. That's why that when you look at your birth certificate and driver's license, that your name is in all caps, right? Because you're not a person, you're an actual corporation, right? And so basically, because this is something that I've always heard over the years, right? And the motherfuckers, they would always put that shit out there, but then again, they were like, they would say, "Oh, hey, look, it's out there," but they never told you how to actually really go about doing it. Or at least out of all of the videos that I saw on that particular subject, they never showed you how to actually really cash in either your Social Security or your birth certificate. They never showed you that. They just told you, "Oh, you can do it," right? So, and then even beforehand, again, let's look at this. A lot of you motherfuckers out there actually really believe that slavery happened. Not to say that it didn't happen, but it didn't happen for everybody. Everybody black ain't from Africa. Everybody black was not slaves. Because I could actually go back, because when I was younger and my great grandmother was still here, on both sides, neither one of them talked about. What the fuck they said is that they was out in the cotton field. That's about as far as it went. They didn't get their ass beat, none of that shit there. So, so again, y'all gotta ask yourself, okay, so who actually really came up with this whole slavery mentality, that, hey, everybody black is from Africa, and then if you came over here, you're a slave. But then again, here's the $64,000 question, right? How the fuck you gonna survive that damn boat ride from the continent of Africa to over here? Right? I mean, I'll wait. So then after all of this, right? So you come over here, you really don't know a damn thing. Right? This is what these motherfuckers actually really want you to believe. So you come over here, you don't know a damn thing. And this is where the motherfucking, and then actually, if you actually really stop and think about it for a minute, you can also put in this motherfucking, everybody holler about AI. Well, this is the ultimate example of what the fuck AI is, right? Because AI is nothing more than man-made intelligence. Meaning they put this bullshit in your head, and if they keep telling you this shit long enough, guess what? 9 times out of 10, you're gonna believe it. And you start to act a certain way towards a certain group of people. Whether that they're your color or they're a hell of a lot of shades lighter than you. Right? So in addition to this, right? They'll do that. Well, I want to go back home. I want to go back to Africa. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do the other. Really, motherfucker? Your ass ain't from Africa, right? And then there's that. Okay, where about in Africa are you from? Right? And so basically, what's going to happen? Right now, here's and this is something that this shit could have been on the shelf, like how you put motherfucking food in your goddamn pantry. You go to the grocery store, you buy it at that particular time, knowing damn well you ain't gonna eat it right then and there. So what the fuck you do? You go put the shit on the shelf. So it really, to be perfectly honest with you, right? Really, we really don't know how long that this operation all aboard, all abroad, right? We really don't know how long this shit been on the shelf. And so basically, motherfucker be like, well, I'm tired of this, I'm tired of that, I'm tired of that. Go ahead. And so they went and they said, look, go in that cabinet over there and go get me the Operation All Abroad, All Aboard can. Matter of fact, bring all that shit out. And then you start passing this shit out. Then you motherfuckers that come on TikTok like, ooh, yeah. And then the motherfucker be like, okay, we're going to give you this money, right? But you can't stay here, right? But my thing is this, right? How about you give me the money? I stay here, you carry your ass somewhere else, right? But then again, and again, and I've always said this. I've been saying this for a pretty good while now. U.S. currency has not had any type of value since August 15, 1971. And if you actually really want to go back a little bit further than that, when Roosevelt was in office, he the one, way back in 1933, he the one that initiated that shit in the first damn place. He started it off. And then 38 years later, President Nixon comes in, finishes up the job, right? Then you had the petrodollar. So that was in 71. What happened 20 years after that? The goddamn Gulf War. Right? Saddam Hussein attacks Kuwait for what? For oil. Because at that particular time, that the American dollar, the so-called American dollar, that was back in that piece of paper. So you go to war over that. Then 10 years later, 2001, we already know what the fuck happened. Right? I mean, because the thing about it, though, people, is this. Every 10 years, this goddamn country goes to war. Okay? So let's just put this out here now. So So again, when you actually really stop and look at what the fuck is going on, they didn't want to come up with this bullshit. And like I said, we got all these wars and shit going on. Motherfuckers always holler about the possibility of a government shutdown. Now here they come with this bullshit. Right? Talking about, oh, well, we'll give you 11 million, but you can't stay here. Now, motherfucker, how about give me my money? I could be just like this. Keep that little bullshit money, and you get your ass out. But then again, you gotta look at it and be like, well, damn, I really can't tell that motherfucker to go nowhere. Because although he may not be his daughter or sister, whatever the case may be, right? So again, so you almost got to, and then motherfucker, they on there. There's the one guy. I mean, I'm not gonna sit up here and say, I'm not gonna sit up here and say that the brother was right. I'm not gonna say that he was wrong. But I done heard plenty of times, where they say that this, what is called America, is the oldest of all the land masses. And so I'm just like, and so basically what happens is that, well, you know what? Fuck all that. I am going to say that he's wrong on this because the thing about it though is this, right? This motherfucker said it was a flood, right? But it's almost like, okay, he tried to take what the Bible said, and then he kind of twisted it in some, he kind of twisted it. So, and then I told y'all about the Bible and all that kind of shit too. So, but basically is that, okay, all of this was underwater at one point. And so when the waters got drawn back, land appeared, right? But what a lot of people fail to, what people fail to realize, and then I'm not gonna say this is the case with everybody, but just know that all of this was just one land mass. So just like say, so when you look at it and you be like, okay, where's America and all of that? That's like trying to find a needle in the goddamn haystack. All right. And then over the course of time, this, it actually already started separating. Then you can actually really look at, okay, well, there's America, North America, there's North America, South America, Africa, blah, 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 all that kind of shit there, right? But for a motherfucker to sit up and say that, okay, all of this, because it was just all one man, then you say, okay, well, that right there, that come out first, that was America. I'm not buying that, even if money was real. I'm not buying that, So, but if but then again, just like I say, because I try to look at it from both sides. And so basically, now with all the other findings they done found over here since then. And then here they come with this shit. Then it kind of makes you think that, okay, well, maybe all that shit what they was talking about, maybe there is some type of fluidity, not fluidity. Maybe some of that shit do make sense. So they feel like, okay, well, we get all, so they figured like, look, if we get everybody out of here, then we can go back down in the Grand Canyon, open that shit up, and go down there and actually like really study what's to happen, right? But again, you know, you gotta look at this. You gotta look at this, people. You almost gotta be like, okay, somebody lied somewhere. Somebody lied somewhere. As far as like, okay, who was here first? Was it so-called black folks or so-called white folks? Right? But then you gotta look at, okay, well, who here is white? Who here is black? And then you gotta be like, okay, well, how did the albino folks get here? How did so-called white folks get here? Right? So the thing about it though, this shit, it's almost like what old boy said in Half Baked. It's a lot more complex than what these motherfuckers are saying. Okay? So in our case, just like what I said, they gonna give you this money, right? But you can't stay here. And so now let's just take away all of the shit that they had found at the Grand Canyon. And let's actually really look at this from another point of view. And I know a lot of people have actually really, seen it plenty of times. Everybody talking about that the poles are shifting. And so when the poles shift, right, after a while, the United States as we know it, a lot of that shit is going to be underwater. Matter of fact, Arkansas is going to be one of those states, over the course of, because they actually really did like a projected, okay, well, this is what the United States is going to look like at such and such a time. I think they actually really started off with the Eastern Seaboard, then it went to the West Coast, and then it came up or whatever. So I think how they were saying by the time 2050 came around, that most of this shit was going to actually really be underwater, right? So that could be the case, but then again, you also got to stop and think about it. You always got to stop and think about, okay, well, they just did this with the United States. What about the rest of the stuff? Right? So again, right? I'm just like, you do all that. They talk all this bullshit, right? But ain't nobody actually really stopping and looking at this shit for what it really is. Because I'm just like, okay, so if you give everybody $11 million, right? And then they always holler about we broke. We broke. But they just gave, these motherfuckers, they steady giving money to Israel. They steady giving money to motherfucking, to the Ukraine. Then they talking about they can't pay the motherfucking bills here. They always holler about they broke. But if you broke, why are you steady giving money out? Ask yourself that question. Why is the United States government steady issuing out money? I can tell you why, because ain't nothing valuable about the motherfucking US dollar. I keep telling y'all that, and then when y'all sit up here and you put bullshit, you talk about bullshit stuff like this, looking for somebody to jump. Hook, line, and sinker. Like a goddamn fish out of the motherfucking water. So again, just like I say, because watch, and then what's so bad about it? What's so bad about it, right? Just like what I said, them motherfuckers, they be in the White House or whatever. And they got all that bullshit food up on the shelf. And they said, you know what? Go give me that can of Operation All Abroad. Go bring it over here. And then they'll shake it up and then they'll look at the expiration date and they're like, oh hell, we good. All right, go. All right, call motherfucking. Go call all of the channels. Go call ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, and tell them we gonna do this motherfucking Operation All Abroad, right? And this is the time. So they be like, look, if you want to leave, look, this is your golden opportunity. We're gonna let you cash in either your birth certificate or your doggone Social Security. But just know this, you can't stay here. You gotta go somewhere else to live. Right? And so I was like, okay, what type okay, I was so now I'm like, okay, where they do that at? How that makes sense? And then that one bitch gonna be like, okay, well, you can stay here, but they gonna shut everything down. Motherfucker, don't you know, look, if you didn't gave me some money, right? All of this shit that you said that got shut down, don't you know that I could go open that shit back up again? Right? It's almost like, again, Dave Chappelle talked about the same shit during the Chappelle show when they were talking about the reparations, right? What they say, 8,000 record labels had come into existence within the last hour. FUBU and Kentucky Fried Chicken didn't merge, right? So the thing about it though is this, right? You give these motherfuckers this money, people that actually really think that it's money, right? And then they all what they gonna do is just open back up what the fuck you shut down. And so again, right? This is why I call it bullshit. This is why I call it bullshit right here. Right? Because y'all motherfuckers just look at that. Y'all just look at that money. Y'all how about how y'all say it? Oh, well, the government is fucked up. Well, y'all put the motherfuckers in office. Y'all put them in office. So if the government is fucked up, guess what? It's because you fucked it up. Too busy listening to the next motherfucker. Just like I said, I swear, if y'all actually like, if the average person was to actually just stop and think for a minute, which I already know that's very hard for a lot of y'all to do, right? If y'all just say, well, ho, wait a minute now. Ain't y'all broke? Or at least that's what the fuck I keep hearing. So yeah. Because you gotta look at it like this, right? So listen, they done took down they've been taking, look, if y'all actually stop thinking, look, they've been taking shit off the shelf like for the past, well, they've always been doing it, right? But they sure enough been taking shit off the shelf ever since 2019, if y'all can really stop and think about it for a minute. When that one bullshit thing that came out, right? And y'all already know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? So again, right, y'all, look, Look, if y'all just want y'all some motherfucking chicken soup, just go to the grocery store, go get you some chicken soup or some alphabet soup, shake it up, and then pour it on the plate and whatever the hell it spill out, right? Then just take it and run with it, because basically that's all what the hell they did. They took some alphabet. I should have been calling it alphabet soup right from the beginning, but basically that's all what the fuck they did. They went, listen, look, this is what the fuck they did. They went into the goddamn pantry and they like, oh, alphabet soup. They did it like this. They opened it up and poured it out, and then whatever the fuck you spell, that's what they your operation all aboard is right there. And y'all sitting up there, y'all look, y'all done bought into it. Like you buying every goddamn thing else. Right? But listen, enough of that. Gotta talk about another little piece of business. Now, granted the fact, this shit here has actually been out longer than the alphabet soup mystery, right? So, but this shit that's going on with Dwight Howard, right? You know, my whole deal is this, people. And again, I can't count how many times I've said this. Look, he's in the industry. He played basketball. Just know that he has a very unique love for the game of basketball. Or, in his case, baseball. However the fuck you actually want to look at it. Right? You know, and so, you know, for the most part, you know, I can actually really say, look, whatever the fuck you do in your house, that's your own, that's your own business. Right? As long as you don't try to pass that shit off on anybody else, I really ain't got no problem with you. So, for like this, oh, and then I hear something about that. That Dwayne Wade and Gabriel Union, they finna get divorced. So apparently well, you know, I don't know, maybe the light done kicked on in the Wade's head. Maybe he actually really done thought about this shit. You raggedy motherfucker. You done turned my son into a woman. The fuck is wrong with you? Right? I just went along with this shit because, well, I thought we was gonna be some good. But ain't nothing coming out of this. So they argued, right? They argued about the shit. And then he was saying, well, you know what? I want my son back. And then she said, well, you can't have him unless we got a divorce. Okay, fine, bitch. Get your ass out. Bring me my son back. Because, look, now, me personally, I don't know the reasons of their divorce, right? But you can best believe when it's all said and done, whatever that child name is now, watch he go back to being a boy again. Because she out the goddamn picture. Right? So Dwayne Wade, if that's the case, then good for you. You didn't woke your ass up right? And you done told that bitch to get the hell on. I want my son back. So, let's see. I really think that's about it. I mean, because, yeah, y'all already know about the motherfucking election. We already know about everything that's going on with Trump. We already know that President Joe Biden is old as fuck. Even if that's even Joe Biden, right? So, and which another thing that brings me up to another thing right here, because again, these motherfuckers on TikTok, right? They, I mean, for them, they'll just say, hey, look, entertainment purposes only. But it's the one clip that they did, and it was when President Ford was still in. And he was somewhere, and so the little girl said, will there ever be a woman president? Now, in order instead of this motherfucker saying hell no, right? He actually really did it. In a sense, he kind of said it. He like this. He kind of said hell no, or he said some shit that he wasn't supposed to say. And they probably like, motherfucker, really? You gonna put that shit out there? So in either case, he said it'll be when the man run for president and he go get a female running buddy. So if he die, right, then the vice president, she'll be president. But here's the deal. Depending on who the fuck you talk to, Joe Biden died like about 2 years ago. Right? So basically what they did, they was like, well, look, we can't let what former President Ford come into existence. So, and like I said, we all know about cloning. And so basically that's all what the fuck happened. They cloned him because they looked at her like, no, you're not going to become president. And then what's so bad, but don't y'all think that this bitch know this too? So yeah, so again, people, y'all sit up here, y'all just, I'm just trying to tell you, look, I'm just trying to tell y'all what the fuck they got on the shelf. They got the alphabet soup, they shook that shit up, and then there's the Operation All Aboard, All Abroad, whatever the fuck it is. It is what it is, people. So, in either case, I done ran out of shit to say. So guess what the fuck y'all get to do? Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell Big Dan, tell Big Bertha. Yeah, damn. I ain't said it so long. So hold on. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell Big Dad, tell Big Bertha, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your papa, motherfucker next door across the street, Mountain Cone, Paulus Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. I'm gonna holler at y'all.